What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a great weekend. The eShop is doing great things, bringing a bunch of awesome sales in preparation for Halloween and probably fall gaming in general. Luigi's Mansion 3 is just a few weeks away, but maybe you need a new game while you wait, and we've got 15 eShop awesome deals, and some of them are going quick, so I gotta get this news out to you right now. Make sure to hit that like button if you enjoy the video. Let me know which of these games you're targeting in the comments down below. Sorry that I didn't get these deals to you sooner. Bandai Namco has been running a sale for a bit now. As I mentioned in another video, I was out of the country, so I wasn't really up to date on these sales and deals, but here we go. These wrap up tomorrow at noon Eastern. Tomorrow, Monday, October 21st at noon Eastern. So if you want to grab them, you got to grab them ASAP right now. This is of the utmost importance, and there's honestly some really good deals. And I'm going to start with my favorite of the bunch. Little Nightmares is 66% off for $10.19. Now, this is the complete edition. It includes the DLC. Little Nightmares 2 has been announced. The game is much bigger than Little Nightmares 1. It's coming next year. It's on the top or near the very top of my list for most anticipated games, but the first one is fantastic. It is very evocative. It is very spooky. There are giant, creepy, evil Muppets chasing you around, some great chase sequences, some great hide-and-seek sequences. It's a lot in the vein of like Limbo and Inside, but honestly, it's probably my favorite of the bunch just because it has, I think, a little bit more charm and quirkiness to it. Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition is 50% off for $25. This one has been on sale a lot, but if you're jonesing for an RPG, either you can't afford DQ11S or you've already beaten Dragon Quest, then $25, 50% off for the Definitive Edition is a solid price. Now, Dragon Ball FighterZ is a game that's on sale all the time, but it's interesting here because not only have they knocked the game 70% off to $18, but the season passes are on sale as well. So Pass 1 is $17.49, 50% off, and Pass 2 is 50% off, $12.49. So if you're looking to add DLC, this might be a great time if you've already gotten the game and are intrigued by those extra Dragon Ball characters. Let's break from Bandai Namco for a bit to let you know that My Friend Pedro is on sale to celebrate its Code Yellow update. This is an update that adds a cinematic camera, big head mode, tiny player mode, adjustable player speed, unlock all weapons, and more little features, but it's bringing the best discount the game has seen. Now, it hasn't been out for that long, but still, 30% off to take this one down to $14. The sale wraps tomorrow at noon again, so you've only got a couple of hours, but I think at $14, My Friend Pedro is pretty recommendable. I didn't love it when it launched. Gabe was a bigger fan, but I know a lot of people did enjoy the game, and I think getting it 30% off makes a lot of sense. Okay, back to Bandai Namco for a minute here. Katamari Damacy Reroll, $18, 40% off. It's the lowest price we've seen yet. This one wraps tomorrow as well. If you like pushing balls, collecting goofy items, and maybe you're a fan of Untitled Goose Game and have not played games in that quirky vein, this one might be for you. So those are all the sales that are done tomorrow. So now we can take a breath because we've got some space, at least a little bit, for some of these. I'm going to go kind of in order for you because there are two games that wrap up on Tuesday. First off, we've got Snake Pass. Snake Pass is $7. It's 65% off. This is a game that we haven't talked about in a while, but it used to be one of our favorites to mention because it's just unique. You are a snake. You embody a snake. If you like being a goose and causing trouble, maybe you like being a snake and solving some platforming puzzles. It's pretty darn tricky, at times frustrating, but I think it's a good time for $7. It wraps on October 22nd. The sale, get it? Wraps the sale. Okay, $7, not too bad. Also on 10/22, or I guess ending on 10/22, is When Ski Lifts Go Wrong. This one is 50% off for $7.49. Now, this is one of those games, kind of like Bridge Builder, where you're building a ski lift to get your character from point A to point B safe and sound. They mix it up with some different kinds of challenges. There's some more active ones, some more passive ones, but this was sort of my first foray into this genre, and I think it's a super solid one. And around the internet, people agreed that while not a phenomenal must-play, this is a super solid game in this style, and I think $7.49, you'll get a lot of mileage out of this one. Moving ahead a little bit later in the month, Sniper Elite V2 Remastered is 50% off. Now we're getting some Halloween celebratory sales. I'm not really sure how sniping and shooting Nazis is very Halloweenish, but alas, there is gore and grotesque kills in this game, so it wraps on Halloween, 10/31. It's 50% off, $17.49. I really like the remaster. It's a very different type of shooter to exist on Switch, and I feel like the gameplay holds up pretty well, especially the sniping segments. Maybe the in-between action isn't as great, and they just released a much more recent Sniper Elite on the Switch, so if you want to grab that, you can, but of course it's more money. This one's 50% off. It does have remastered visuals, looks and runs pretty darn good, $17.49. I like it. Aw, this one is a cute one to talk about because it's good memories for me. Nostalgia at its finest. Back in the day, me and my brother liked point-and-click adventures that had unique characters and intriguing stories, and Mationareum was one of those. This game is celebrating an anniversary, and so until Halloween, it is on sale for $5, 50% off. I think it's a great little game to have on Switch. You'll be able to roll through it probably in a few hours, but it's definitely fun. It'll make you think, and it's got a very nice art style, and at $5, like, it's a very quality game for just a couple of bucks. The last sale wrapping on 10/31 is Mortal Kombat 11. Oddly, this one's been on sale a bunch of times. In fact, it feels like it's been on sale consistently for the last few months on the eShop, but it is 40% off for $36, and the other editions and the Combat Pass are also 40% off. So sort of like Dragon Ball FighterZ, if you have the base game but want to get in on the DLC, grab some Terminator action, you can for 40% off until the 31st. Moving on to more Halloween sales, but this batch wraps on November the 1st, we've got Slender The Arrival. Now, I think Slender is a game of the past, and The Arrival isn't even probably the best one, but it's 50% off, $5 if you want to get in the spooky spirit. We've got Shovel Knight Spectre of Torment, bringing a little bit of spookiness to your Shovel Knight action for 50% off, down to $5 as well, wrapping on November 1st. Batman The Telltale Collection is 50% off, $7.49. Now, I don't think the Batman story arc is the best that Telltale has brought to the table or to the Switch, but at $7.49, getting the whole season is pretty fun. And while it's not specifically Halloween themed, you know, you do have some Halloween elements in Gotham City, and so you will probably, again, get your money's worth for sure for $7.50 out of this one. We're down to our last two games, and they still qualify as Halloween sales, they just have different end dates. Wrapping on November the 2nd for 50% off, we've got Crawl, down to $7.49. I love Crawl. It's one of the original great local multiplayer games for Switch. Up to 4 players square off, and you are either the good guy or the bad guy, but you're playing the whole time, and you can earn your way back to good guy status if you get enough kills as the bad guy, and if you do well as the good guy, then you can build up points to boost your enemies as you then take on your comrades, and eventually someone gets to be the boss and everyone tries to kill that boss. It's just a very nice back and forth. There's a lot of good antagonistic gameplay because you are trying to kill each other but also trying to progress. It's very unique, very fun. We've sung its praises many times. $7.49, 11/2. And last but not least, Observer is a very interesting, spooky game. This one's not phenomenal, but very good. $10.49, it's 65% off. This sale ends on November the 4th. So if you've kind of fallen in with these sales over the months and years, and you already have Crawl, and you already have Shovel Knight, and you already have Little Nightmares, and you already have Snake Pass, well, maybe this is a oddball choice that will appeal to you. It is Halloweeny in its spooky spirit, and it's pretty good. I did enjoy when I played it back on PC, and I would assume that it translates pretty well to Switch. So that's Observer, $10.49. And that's the full list. 15 games on eShop going on sale. Some of them you gotta move quick on. Out of those, move quick, they end tomorrow. I think Little Nightmares, as I started with, is fantastic for $10.19. And I also really like My Friend Pedro at $14. I think that's a solid sale. Outside of the ones that end super quick, mationareum at $5, it's kind of like a must-buy. Just if you haven't played it, it's a classic point and click and really brilliant art style that I like a lot. I'll always give thumbs up to Crawl. I think, honestly, Sniper Elite V2 Remastered for 50% off is pretty darn solid as well. And then, you know, Mortal Kombat 11, it's one of the best third-party titles on Switch, and we're not getting Doom Eternal this year. Who knows when we're getting it? It's no longer day and date, so I'm going to give Warner Brothers and the team helmed by Ed Boon another thumbs up. They brought the game day and date. They did it really well. It's $36, or you get the DLC for 40% off, and I like that a lot. But let me know in the comments down below which of these games you may want to pick up as you stock up for the spooky season. Maybe you are gonna grab Luigi's Mansion. Maybe Luigi's Mansion doesn't seem for you, but I do like some of these eShop sales. Let me know your take in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching. Sorry again for the lateness on some of these sales. I am back in America for a long time, so I'll keep you guys up to date next time one rolls around with more notice. But until then, thanks again for watching, everybody. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend. Switch Force out.